I see it. The
All right,
stream live.
we are streaming live with three of the best, you know, anglers in the club. I think it's safe to say, right? I mean, the case
Too
study
early.
is there. Too
A
early?
little early, a little early.
Who said too early? But
I
no.
did.
But yeah, but yeah, that was Mickey, Kyle. Carl, I mean, we're here with the winners from the Upper Bay event, the first event, the inaugural event um, of the year for the club. And I mean, these guys, they proved themselves. What was it, last weekend? So
Hmm.
That was a
I'm
tough test.
excited. Yeah, I'm excited to hear from them. I'm excited to get their take on what it was like. I'm not expecting them to tell us what they threw or anything like that, but just to see how they had to adjust, if they had to adjust, or if they just stuck with doing the same thing and all that jazz. But what are you looking forward to this episode, Carl?
I don't know why I'm so giddy for this one. I'm excited, man. I'm sitting in a room with three guys that did it. That was a tough day. That was a tough day. You guys figured out a tough nut to crack, and you did it. So
Hmm.
I can't wait to sit back and hear what you guys explain what you guys did and how you did it. I'm excited.
Yeah, man. Justin's on, aka Old Line Bates, and I did place an order, so I'm excited to pick those up tomorrow. And Justin, I will send you my address, but I'm not competing this weekend. But if I were, I think that what I ordered would be the winning ticket. I really do. This is something that you can't get from Tackle Warehouse. Just going to put that out there. All right, so let's go straight into it. Let's start off with, well, I guess everyone's a rookie, right? But this was the first kayak bass fishing tournament that this gentleman has ever fished, and he cashed a check. So, Kyle, I'm sending the mic your way. Can you tell us about your day? What was it like?
Uh, so, I mean, honestly, my like the whole week or month or so leading up to it, I just kept telling myself that I wanted to catch a limit. I didn't care where I placed, whether it had been first or last with a limit. I just wanted to catch a limit. And then, obviously, all of us know the bite was just not what we really wanted it to be. But I had one area that I knew had fish, and I pretty much just went to that area and I didn't leave it the entire time. Um, and I just managed to get onto a few. I had three keepers. I had one that was just shy of 12, and then I lost one at the boat. So I was very close to actually
Oh
getting a
man,
limit, but I was happy to get what I did catch. So it was, um, I mean, it was pretty nerve wracking. My first ever tournament. It was just a whole lot of like it was just new to me going out there, not just fishing to fish. I mean, you still kind of do that, but when there's a check on the line and a whole lot more pressure to try to work around.
Yeah, good deal.
different.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different than fun fishing.
It is definitely different, but it's a different level of fun. I feel like.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. All right,
Did
I
you
got to
feel like
work out
you
this.
made? Oh,
No,
sorry,
go
man.
ahead. Go ahead, Carl.
Kyle, did you feel like you made good decisions out there on the water? Like when you moved around, do you think you hit the right places at the right time? You kind of like,
Yeah, so the spot I went to, I had pre-fished like 2 weeks before, and I had caught two fish. But I told myself, I was like, okay, I know there's fish there. I mean, it was only two, but I knew there was fish there, and I was telling my dad, who also fished the tournament, I was like, if I catch a fish there early in the morning, I'm not leaving the spot the rest of the day. And I didn't. I stayed there the entire day and I just fished the areas. Like once I found a little pattern, I kind of just broke it down in that area and just stuck to that pattern and was able to catch a few.
did you have anyone come into that area and you had to kind of like defend your area?
Yeah, so there was actually three boats that came in before any kayakers did. And then there was, a couple of the guys that were fishing that came down in there, but that was later in the day, and by then I'm pretty sure the bite was kind of off, anyways.
Awesome. I see you got your plaque in the back. In the
Yeah,
back.
yeah, somewhere, yeah, over there.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes, yep. And that was another thing. Like during the day, I kind of just like put my head down and didn't even really pay attention to place I was in. I had noticed I was in like second at one point, and I kind of just left it at that. Forgot that second and third even got anything, so I never even thought about it until I was actually like loading my kayak up, and I was like, wait a second. I was like, I think second and third get something out of this. So I was like, well, I guess I'll find out if I'm still in second or third or whatever it was, and we ended up getting third, which was awesome.
Hey Kyle. Bunky's asking, where are you from and how did you find Joppa Town? He said it was cool seeing you because I know you guys were in a similar area.
I'm from like Annapolis area, and I found Joppa Town actually from Evan. He had mentioned the area, and my dad has worked in that area and stuff like that, so he was familiar with kind of the general area where the launch was. So that's where I went. I went there last year one time during the summer. I caught one fish and I was like, yeah, it was all right. But I fished a weird area. But yeah, so that's how I found out about that area.
Yeah. To be clear, I told Kyle about this area like a year or so ago.
Yes, a year ago. It was like before I even had a kayak. I don't even think I had my kayak yet.
I was about to say, you never told me about that area. I've never been there before. I didn't know anything
and
about it.
He only told me the launch. He didn't tell me anything around there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm sure he's got some secrets.
I've heard stories, but I've never actually been there and fished.
So, Kyle, was there anything else you wanted to share before I post an amazing photo of you?
No, go ahead.
There it is. Boom, our third place winner, Kyle Chrisovergis.
Yes.
Did I say that correctly?
Perfect. That was perfect. That was impressive. I'll give you that. That was impressive.
It's exactly how it looks.
It is. It is. A lot of people throw it off.
Yeah, but I'm just going to go back to this really quick. These are custom plaques, okay? That Carl makes himself. They're laser engraved. They're wood stained and sealed by Carl Wynn. So if you win any tournament, especially this upcoming tournament on the Potomac, which I think our next winner will have a lot to share about in this episode, you will receive one of these. All right, Carl, who's up next? Who took second in this tournament?
This guy, he does not need an introduction at all. I think everybody knows him in the kayak world. He's a stud. He wins. He's no stranger to the winner's circle. He's no other than Josh Evans.
Mac.
What's up, y'all?
What's happening?
Another day, just working on baits and doing some things with the family, Try to keep it moving.
Word on the street is you're in the lab as we speak.
I am. It's kind of a mess. It's a little bit of a mess right now, but let's see. I can't even switch the camera around, so I'm just gonna. There's some painting stuff right here.
Oh wow!
And I got this makeshift box right here, which is where all my UV clear coat lures go to clear up. About an hour or two, I changed the process for my clearing. So instead of it being 4 days, it's under 4 hours. So it's pretty fantastic. Got a lot of baits I'm working on right now.
You have one you want to show the world?
Yeah. So we, you guys know I did a collab with Old Line Baits, old Justin over there, and we did 2 colors specific for Chesapeake Reel Masters. The first one being the Upper Bay Oxbow, which is super lovely, especially when the water gets kind of murky and muddy. And then Potomac Pre-Spawn Dawn, which is kind of like my take on the old Excalibur Toledo gold color. Super, super fantastic, especially this time of year on the Potomac. This will murder them.
For sure. The color is money.
Yeah. Now, just so you know, Mex Custom Baits isn't officially up online yet. However, if anybody is interested in those baits or any other color offerings that I have, feel free to reach out to me in a DM and we can chop it up. Kyle's dad, Pete, actually was supposed to meet up with me today to grab him and Kyle's winning baits and purchase some as well. But, work schedule got a little funky, so we're going to meet up later this week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll be placing an order.
Bet.
It's yeah. Yeah, actually, cranking is something I personally want to improve on because
It's one of my favorites, especially early in the year and late in the year. Man, they get on it. So I'm a big fan.
I personally want to get my hands on both of those colors.
You will definitely get some. Don't trip. I got y'all.
Cool.
Oh,
Well,
I wanted to clear one thing up. So for the first event, I am going to go ahead and give Kyle and Pete 2 baits each. But moving forward, it's 2 baits per event. So 1 for second and 1 for third. Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I heard there seemed confusion on that. So, but I got them both on 2 baits each for the second, and my third place went to Pete. So
Thanks for clearing that up.
yes, sir.
Yeah. Josh, can you tell us about your day, because you grabbing second place was literally done
Last
in
minute.
legendary fashion.
So first off, big shout out to Bunky. Bunky is a buddy of mine. We've been fishing MAKBF together for quite a few years now. Bunky had told me about Joppa Town once. God, a year or two ago, he was telling me about that's where he liked fishing, and I'd forgotten about it. And then a day or two prior to the tournament, he knew that the water I traditionally like to fish was going to be pretty blown out, and the fish weren't going to be there. And he said, "Hey, man, you want to come fish Joppa Town with us? Me and Kenny will be there." And I said, "Oh, absolutely." Because at the end of the day, fishing, it's a competition, but this is all about friendship and fun and community for me. So, any opportunity to fish new water gets me excited. So I show up there, super unfamiliar with it. Water temperatures are still pretty chilly, but like you too, Bonk. But I went out there and I started throwing moving baits early. Wasn't getting bit. I was throwing cranks, lipless, all the stuff that I like to throw in tidal water early in the year, and only was getting shorts. I think I had 5 fish that all weren't scoreable by noon. And as I moved, I was just going different areas, trying to find different types of structure, different characteristics that I thought they might relate to because they weren't on what I was thinking they would be. And I saw Mickey, our winner. And he's a river guy, and I'm very familiar with Mickey and his body of work. He's a great angler. And I knew he'd been catching them. And so as I was passing, I noticed that he wasn't throwing, reactionary baits really. He was more in the finesse side of the game. And I said, okay. And I had picked up, I'll tell you exactly what I was using. A couple days prior to that, I went to Jake's Bait and Tackle, and I saw these, they're called Crew 3.0. 6 Cents makes them. They're about, a little 3-inch juvenile crawl, soft plastic tube hybrid. And I grabbed one of those, Texas rigged it with a little 3/0 hook and a 1/8 bullet weight pegged, and just started throwing it. The wind kept blowing me down, blowing me back down the channel. So I said, well, I like to drift and fish and let my bait just kind of bounce in the current. And so I did that. I threw it upstream from where I was at, and then I just floated sideways with the wind, picked one up. Well, I ran into Carl. We chopped it up a little bit. I took a break, kind of reset mentally. And then Carl kind of, said, "Hey, I think you'd do some good luck, Josh." And I said, "Man, I sure hope so." And I went about my way. And that's when I switched over to the finesse presentation and started just dragging with the current, man. And what that does is that bait will sit there. It stands up like a craw in defensive position, right? And as it's going down the current, it's bouncing. It's just kind of going across the rock on the bottom. And you can feel every little tick if you're using the right rod. I had a medium finesse iRod Crusher Series rod. And I was feeling every little bit contour of the bottom, every little stick and rock and everything else. And the first one I caught was a keeper. And I said, okay, I'm onto something, I think. And I said, I'm going to go back up. And I kept just going back up to the top of this stretch that just looked fishy and felt fishy to me. And I wasn't trying to fish, on top of Mickey or anybody else, Mickey was in a pretty general vicinity of me, but we weren't on top of each other's fish. And the second time down, I hooked into what ended up being big bass of the tournament. And I'm yelling and hollering because I had already told Mickey that I had lost one earlier in the day that was a grown fish. I said, "It's a grown one." And I think he thought I said it was a small one. And then he see me hold it up and the tail, flop as I threw him in the water. And he's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
So fast forward, time's winding down. We were in literally the the last 2 minutes, and I see this laydown kind of coming out. And earlier when I had passed it, it was still kind of out of the water. It wasn't deep enough to where there would be a fish necessarily back there. But now it was, that the little laydown was almost completely submerged. And I threw to the backside, nothing. And then I threw to the front side. And in my head, I'm looking at the clock on my Garmin, and it says 3:29, I think. And I'm going buzzer beater, buzzer beater, buzzer beater in my head. And Mickey's like 3:29. He's like counting it off for me too, And right then I felt the tick, and I just set him, and that was it, man. It was the fastest I've ever, thrown a fish on the board, measured, and sent a photo in my life. So
Amazing.
it was good.
Amazing.
Yeah, man.
Our thing went ding. We thought we were done. It went ding. I'm like, oh, that's Josh.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. So I went to upload the fish, and it wouldn't let me upload it. And I'm saying, what the heck? Like, I was trying to submit it on time, So that's when I sent it to y'all. I said, wait a minute. I said, I think I got it. You know what I mean? And I didn't know what place I was in. I knew that Kyle was sitting on 3 fish in second place before the leaderboard shut off. But after that, I didn't really know. So I was kind of in the dark until we got to the awards.
That was. I've never been a part of anything like that. That was incredible.
Yeah, hey, that's one thing I will say. Fish till the last second. A lot of people, they get discouraged. Especially if they're having a rough day. I told one of the other anglers, I was like, man, if I wasn't sponsoring the event, I don't even know that I would come, but except for the fact that I want to support at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Because I was blanking, any keepers at least, early in the day. But man, if you just keep swinging, anything can happen.
Like I got on one of our shirts. Keep fishing. What does it say? Fish around and find out.
Yeah,
that's what he did.
The more you fish around.
You're damn right.
That was awesome, though.
Yeah, it felt good, man. It felt good to get out there. My goal was to get a top 3 placement in you guys' first tournament. I like showing my support in every way I can, but I also like winning. I ain't gonna lie. So it's kind of nice.
Good deal.
But you came close, but the guy that did, he put on a show right from the beginning. It was actually him and Cal early in the morning. Just they were having a whole Western shootout, and then I don't know what happened. I looked at the leaderboard, and Mickey kind of took control.
Well, I was sitting there with Bunk. Actually, I was fishing with Bunky, and he goes, "Oh man, the kid just posted 2." And I said, "What?" I like the rookie kid. He goes, "Yeah, the one from the ramp." I said, "Oh, here we go." So okay, somebody else to worry about now. All right. So yeah, we was watching.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching Kyle on the Potomac. I'm going to be watching to see how you do, buddy.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think he has a fan following now.
Oh, for sure. Speaking of followings, Kyle runs our Instagram, so make sure you support us there as well. But Here is Joshua Meck Evans with a second place plaque. Also a sponsor of the event, who we're very grateful for. If you guys could have seen those baits in person, those crankbaits, they look amazing. Kyle, you saw them, right? I think Mickey, you saw them too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they were awesome.
Look like money. Well, Carl, there's only one other person who we haven't spoken to on the call.
This man right here, I'm scared to pronounce his last name because I don't want to do him any shame at all. I know how it is. People pronounce my last name the wrong way. Carl something, whatever. It's Wynn. So I'm just going to call him Mickey the Hammer. He is our first inaugural winner of our events. I mean, he's the first. He's the Genesis. He's the first one. He's the only guy that can say, I won their first ever event. Mickey Hammer.
All right. The champ, Mickey, bringing him on now. Mickey, if you can just, that was on me. Mickey, if you can just tell us about your day. What was it like? Because I talked to you in the boat. I talked to you at the boat ramp, and you had said something to me like,
you brought me donuts.
What did you said you don't fish tidal fisheries well or something like that? I think that's what you said.
No, I never caught 5 fish in a title tournament. I never did
That's what it was. Yeah.
until that day last week. I have been to Joppatown before twice, and one time I went there just for fun, and it was early April, like this tournament, and I actually caught a lot of fish that day. And I went back for a tournament in early May, and I didn't catch a single one. So I don't know where they went, but they weren't there. But for this tournament, I figured in tough conditions, I'm going to go right to a laydown where I know these fish are or should be. And for like the first 40 minutes, I didn't even get a bite. But something to look for is when you start seeing that tide moving, you'll see like these little bubbles. And you look at the bank, you look at the bubbles, you can tell how fast it's moving. And when I saw that, I put a crankbait on and caught a short, and then in 2 consecutive casts, I caught 2 keepers. So that was, I thought that was going to be the deal all day, but it shut down as quick as it started. And I had to figure something else out. And if you look at my submissions, I think there was probably there's 3 hours between my second keeper and my third keeper. But then I finished the day with, I think, 4 or 5 more keepers in a pretty short time. I think fishing next to Josh at the end, I was like, man, if we had 1 more hour, we might have done some damage.
Yeah. Man. 'Cause
Wow. Go ahead, Abbott. Go ahead.
no, I'm recapping the submissions. This is our first time judging a tournament as well, but it was Mickey and Kyle. Mickey and Kyle for a while. And then it seemed like something just clicked with Mickey, and he just took off from the pack. It was really amazing to see.
I got one
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, you said you only fish tidal fisheries. This was your second time. What made you fish?
No.
Okay, all right. Correct me.
No. I fished second time at Joppatown. That was my second time ever fishing.
Okay, I
there.
got you.
Okay.
Yeah, and I fished title the last couple years, but I've never done well.
Okay.
All right. So my next question is, what made you come out and fish with Chesapeake Grill Masters?
Well, I saw your schedule, and it was like 50% of the events were on the Upper Bay, and that's an hour and 15 minutes for me, and that's ideal, and it gives me a reason to want to learn more about tidal water and compete. So when I saw the members that were registered, I'm like, hey, I know a lot of these guys from other clubs and fishing the Susquehanna, so I was like, this will be cool. And the funny thing is, I actually met Evan last year. It was a River Runners event, I believe. I met him on the water. I ran into him, and we talked briefly, but I was like, hey, I hope I see that guy again. And I never put it together until he brought me donuts on a tournament morning that it was the same Evan.
Yeah.
The small world. I met him there at River Runners too.
So for those who haven't met Mickey, I feel like Mickey would give anyone the shirt off his back. And I say this because when we were fishing that tournament, there was a blowout tide that tournament, if I recall correctly. Because I met Carl the first time. That's interesting. I met Carl for the first time that morning as well on the Occoquan, but I wasn't going out into that. The water was moving way too quick for my comfort level. Carl, he's a different guy. But I went from Occoquan over to Slavens, and that's where I launched at, and that's where I met Mickey. And Mickey was like, hey, I told him I just caught one out of a tree. He was like, hey, you might want to go back there because I just caught 2 or 3, using the same strategy or approach or something like that. I'm like, this guy's giving me tips during the tournament. Who does that? But it just goes to show that he's more about camaraderie and having a good time than just cashing checks. I think that means a lot. But I mean, speaking of checks, actually, let's go to the comments. And Mac Bates would be key on the Potomac. Cool. That's exciting. Mickey, was there anything else you wanted to share before we really get deep into the comments? I mean, were you surprised?
Yeah. When you said that, I kind of turned it back go on. So what I did was I was pretty tired. I didn't really sleep the night before, and I knew there was fish in my spot, and I tried some other stuff. It didn't work out. So I went back there, and I just put on like a micro finesse jig, and like Josh was doing, I was throwing it up current and letting it come into the wood. And the fish were, it was low tide, so they moved off the wood and they were a little deeper. I was sitting kind of on top of them. And once I figured that out, I left, came back, and let them reset, and started catching them. And I was probably, I don't know, Josh, what, like 100 yards from you, if that. And I was watching him catch fish. He was watching me catch fish. And it's pretty cool on a day like that where, you know, the fishing wasn't great, but one thing surprised me was that the size wasn't there. I know I fished that spot before and caught some nice fish, especially, pre-spawn. But
Yeah.
Josh found the big one.
Josh, what was big fish again?
18 3/4. I lost one earlier in the day that was a bit bigger, but I couldn't get her to bite again, so I settled for that 18 3/4.
Kyle, I'm not trying to put salt in your wound or anything like that, but you had a big one too, right? Oh, Kyle, you're muted.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
I don't think mine was anything over 18, but it was probably my biggest fish of the day when I lost it.
Okay.
It happens. It's part of fishing.
Man, they were out there.
They were.
All right. So, Bunky, Mickey, do you know Bunky? He's claiming that you fished.
I've seen him at tournaments. Yeah, I don't think we've really gotten to know each other yet, but I'm sure we will at some point. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good deal. Justin is saying, I guess in response to Mech Bates being the king of the Potomac, he may feel some type of way about that. I think he may have something to say. I mean, Justin, are you saying that old line Bates is the key?
I need to know if Justin is going to be down there a day prior by chance, because I need to get some paddle tails. So, yeah.
Okay.
We need to make an arrangement, a little trade or something.
That'd be cool. J.R. Rentz found all the carp in the Northeast. J.R. Rentz was one of few people who were up in the Northeast, but
he might have been the only one.
I know.
Everybody was at job.
I could think of two other people that were up there for sure.
Those laydowns were special. Mickey's the real deal. We exchanged information and help each other out all the time. Who was that? Jeremy
Sounds like
Smith.
JR.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm looking at a ton of comments, y'all. Oh, okay. So it looks like that was Bunky instead. Justin said to hit him up, Josh. The Mech Bait Gang. Listen, Kenny G is a cool guy. I'm just going to put that out there. I met Kenny G for the first time, and I think that's something that was also cool about this tournament. Carl, would you say the same, like just putting names with faces?
Yeah, I ran into Kyle. Kyle got off the water early. I said, Kyle, what are you doing? I'm leaving, man. What, are you hungry?
Like,
you're in the lead. You're like at the top. You can't roll out early. But hey, Kyle's doing Kyle, so I can't argue.
Like,
it paid off for him.
Kyle, why are you at awards so soon? That's my thought. I was like, how did you get here so fast? But
yeah, I should have taken Josh's advice and probably stayed fished the last 28 minutes or whatever. I pulled off early, but my arm was about to fall off from throwing a crankbait all day, so I was like, it's the first tournament. I'll take what I get.
Do some push-ups, son.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, fellas, listen, that's the majority of the call. But before we end the call, we do want to talk about the next tournament, and also just virtual. Oh, is it a 1 day or a 2 day event? We should address that now. Two individual days.
1 day events.
Yeah. So
and all three of these guys are in it, right?
Oh
yeah, I signed up for both of them today.
round of applause. Whoa. Someone showing off some
Whoa,
hardware?
whoa.
Flex.
Uh-oh. And then his mic is muted. Just no words needed.
None
I
needed.
love it.
Shots
Love it.
fired. Shots fired.
Flex zone. This weekend is going to be stupid good. I mean, everything is setting up. All right, before we get into the weekend, a round of applause for these gentlemen who walked away with the top 3. It was not easy. The conditions were tough, and you could have fished other places. So, that means a lot. I'm going to hand this over to Carl and Josh. Is that cool? Just an alley-oop over to you guys.
Real quick.
Yeah.
The first one came off the press today. I don't know why I did second place first, but this is the it's not done, it's not finished, it's not stained or anything, but it's engraved. So the first one's in. They take about an hour to do.
Looks so good.
Yeah, so
Cool.
whoever's finishing second on Saturday, this might be you when it's all said and done.
That's exciting. So, speaking of Saturday, Sunday, 2-day event. We have one of the members who, Josh is hold on. Josh, Mickey, MAKBF is also present, right? I don't know if Mickey's in.
Yeah.
Mickey's in
Yeah.
MAKBF as well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you can double dip, you can triple dip. Can you guys unpack what's going on this weekend? What do you guys have to look forward to?
Yeah, man. You want me to go, Carl? You go. Okay.
Josh,
Cool.
go.
All right. So, for those of you that don't know, we have 5 separate tournaments going on between this Saturday and Sunday on the fantastic, amazing, none other than the legendary tidal Potomac River. For anybody that doesn't know, and for those of you that do, this whole week we got a little bit of rain, a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of cloud cover, all the things that blend ahead of a full moon to make the bite absolutely spectacular this weekend. Signups for some reason are still low. I know kayakers are procrastinators in every sense of it, especially when it comes to sign up for tournaments. Get signed up. Call your mama, call your girl, call your friends, call everybody and get them signed up too. Because anybody, and I mean anybody, can go out there on either day. And if you sign up for all 5 of them tournaments between MAKBF, CRM, and NVKBA, you could walk away with a few grand. That's some serious money for a day of fishing. Now, if you can do it back-to-back days, man, you got a down payment on a car. I'm just saying. So, there's a lot of folks already signed up, but I'd like to see about another 30, 40 more, honestly. Because more people means more competition, and everybody else that, gets to get out there and experience one of the best fisheries on the East Coast, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more. I think this is probably one of the only times throughout the year that you're going to be able to fish against guys in 1, 2, 3 different clubs, maybe 4 if you add RRZ in the mix too, because I know some guys are coming from that. So this is the only time you're really, unless it's a Bass Nation event or something like that, this is the only time really you're going to get to go against top-notch competition and really see where you rank. So I'm excited for it. It's something that I circle on my calendar every year, ever since the first one when it was KBF, NVKBA, and MAKBF. It's a blast. It is a blast. You meet a lot of cool people from all over the states coming here to fish the Potomac. I mean, people don't realize the Potomac is world renowned. People know about the Potomac. They know about Smallwood Park too. But I don't think locals know how special this place is, man. Yes, I said Smallwood.
Why are you name dropping?
Hey, you know what's funny? You know what's funny, right? Every other year I cash a check. I cash it going out of Slavin, back in the back of Mattawoman, right? That's there's no secret there. That's my favorite place. Every year I get text message and DM, "Hey Josh, you're gonna go fish in your favorite spots." I'm like, dude, like it gets old, right? It's cool, right? Because people hit me up. That's nice, but at the same time, like I just want to fish and catch fish. You feel me? Like so, last year I fished 2 different ramps, 2 different places completely. Day 1 and 2. Neither one of them were Slavins, right? Which is where I know money fish are. And day 1, I got, my butt handed to me. The fish moved, and there was about 1,000 bass boats out there. Day 2, Carl will tell you, I showed up to the ramp late. I forgot my torpedo batteries at home. Had to drive all the way back home and get them. And I showed up. We launched. It was just the two of us launching. About an hour late or something like that, I think. And then we had that delay with the lightning, and well, Carl didn't, but I did. I got off the water for that one. But I'll tell you what. I mean, and that old term, any given Sunday, right? It's true. Saturday too. That's a special fishery. If you want to throw moving reactionary baits, you're going to catch fish. If you want to finesse fish, you're going to catch some fish on the edge of grass. You want to punch in the thicker stuff, and there's some of it on the river already. You're going to catch fish there too. We had cats last year coming down from New Hampshire, New Jersey, you name it, right? This year, we don't have KBF here, and we still got cats coming from New Hampshire, New Jersey, Tennessee. We got some hammers coming into town for this one. So don't let that scare you, though, because I'm going to tell you what, they come up here, they don't know tidal fishing. They might get their asses kicked. But you get out there with some confidence and you just keep on throwing and winding until your arm feels like it's going to fall off, then keep on doing it some more, you're going to catch some damn fish.
Hey, Bunky's talking trash, Josh. He's saying that either him or Alex they're going to hand it to you on day number 1.
I'll tell you what. In all honesty, if I ever was even slightly intimidated by another angler on any body of water, it's Fioca on the Tidal Potomac. That's one of my favorite fishing buddies. Usually at the beginning of the season, for any of the tournament start, he usually calls me and say, "Josh, I'm gonna go out and pet a couple. You want to come?" This last time I couldn't go, unfortunately, but last year we went out there and did some magic. So that man, woo, he's another one. He fished to the end. He went out. We were fishing state championship back when it was down out of Slavens a few years back. And I had big bass in the tournament, and we're coming back into the ramp, and he looks over at me, and I think I got you. And I said, "Man, stop playing, dude. Like, I think I got a second place, but I think I got big bass too." He goes, "No." He goes, I literally beat you in the last 2 minutes or 3 minutes. I said, "You kidding me?" He said, "No, I was a 21 and a quarter or something." He got it on a frog as a buzzer beater. I said, "Well, okay." So that man's a force to be reckoned with. You want to talk about a hammer on the Tidal Potomac, and I don't believe in jinxes. Damn that. I'm gonna compliment a man when I need to, and Fioca's the real deal down there.
Yeah, and see, that's what you want to. If you're not scared of competition, that's what you want to measure yourself against. Okay, Alex Fioca's out there. Alan Hurt, the Maryland State Bass Nation champion, is out there lurking. You want to match up against these guys and see how well you finish. That's a feather in your cap for the year. Hey, I finished well. I competed against the best anglers in Maryland, Delaware, Virginia, Pennsylvania, and everywhere else in the region. And I fared really well. I came out with a plaque. I mean, it's a feather to put in your cap. I'm telling you. It's awesome.
Hey, Carl, can I add something real quick?
Yeah.
Go.
So I'm going to tell you this. So the Tidal Potomac, like I said, it is one of my favorite fisheries, but you'd never guess how much I fish it. Literally twice, maybe 3 times a year max. And I'm not from here. I'm from Cali. I'm a Cali boy. So tidal bass and all that was all foreign to me when I got out here. But what I did do was I did a lot of research. If you want to get good at tidal fishing, I'm not going to tell you exactly what to throw because I don't just, that's silly, right? But I will tell you that if you do a little research as far as tidal bass behavior and how they move and why they move and when they move, that goes a long damn way. So if you haven't been doing it already, go ahead and get you on some Google in your life and tick 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 start tapping. You know what I mean? You figure it out.
Good advice. Good advice.
We had a question.
Go for
it. Folks are asking if they need a membership for CRM. If you can only make 1 to 2 events.
If you already have a membership with River Runners, Mid-Atlantic Kayak Bass Fishing, MAKBF, or MVKBA, we're just doing a $5 reciprocal membership, okay? If you are already a member of one of those 3 clubs, But if you're not a member, it's $35 with us. You get to fish the whole year. The grand prize is you can win the Angler of the Year prize, which is $1,000. If you catch the biggest bass of the year, that's worth $500 at the end of the year, and you get access to all the tournaments that we have on the Upper Bay and the Potomac, especially the Battle of the Best at the end in September, where there's a championship belt at stake. So we got a lot of cool things going on, but there's other great clubs, MAKBF, if you like to travel around the Mid-Atlantic region, and you got NVKBA if you like the Virginia lakes and rivers, and that's your flavor. You can do that as well. So there's a lot of different things on the buffet menu that you can choose from. But the short answer to long answer to a short question is, or a short answer to a long question, or I'm getting that mixed up now. But basically, you have to be a member. If you're a member to any of those three clubs, you just pay $5 for the admin fee, and you're good. You're in.
Hey, I saw another comment that said, disregard using Google, get on the water. I agree with that. Time on the water trumps everything. However, I also know that not everybody lives right there or has time in their day with their busy family and work schedules to do that. So I'm suggesting an alternative. For me, up until this past October, I was working 60, 70-hour weeks, right? And except for when I was on vacation, using vacation time and sick time to do tournaments. So I will tell you that, sometimes researching Google and all that, that's the only option, unfortunately. I hate YouTube and all that because I don't like going where somebody else caught fish because at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't like that personally. But I will say, you can glean great information looking at some of like the biology websites when they talk about fish behavior. If you read some books, pick up an old school book and crack some pages. There's some really good information out there. Shoot me a DM and I'll shoot you some titles because I can't think of them off the top of my head. But yeah, man, there's so many we have a plethora of information at our fingertips, So while time on the water trumps everything, if you don't have the option to do that, you got to go with the next best option.
Look at the old FLW videos when they came to town with Brian Latimer and all those guys. A lot of good stuff in that. A lot of good stuff.
Ken Penrod I'll just put that out there. It's very hard to find the book. I don't even think it's sold anymore.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about.
If you can go to a library and find it, I don't know the exact title, but Ken Penrod's like Potomac River Bass Guide Fishing book, something like that. Have good luck finding it. Maybe ChatGPT can get it to you, but I have a copy, and that's
a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, they don't make it anymore. But listen, it's already 9:18, fellas. We can talk about this all night. I know we're going live again with Josh later on this week because he gets a sponsored stream. But fellas, before we hop off, what do y'all think are going to be the winning numbers for this weekend? Y'all think we're in the 90s? Y'all think we're in the upper 80s?
I'm going 95 inches each day. That's what I'm scoring. I don't know what's winning, but I'm throwing up 95. So let's hope, yeah.
Whoever cracked 90, I know won on Sunday or got close to it.
I mean, last year with the conditions the way they were, winning totals were both around really close to 90 inches. And I know I personally lost 3 ginormous fish. So I'm saying 95 because I'm going to go and clutch up on them at least one day.
You can have it. Oh, yeah. It can do. Somebody might, you get in the right area, you might crack 100. You get in the right area.
Has that ever been done?
In a kayak tournament on the Potomac? I don't think so.
First time for everything. Be great if the CRM member.
Somebody caught an 8 a couple weeks ago.
I heard about that. I don't know where, but I heard about that. There's some juicies out there.
Yeah. So,
guys, just out of respect, Dwayne Wally is on the stream tonight. Dwayne, he is the founder and creator of Tourney X. He is the reason we're able to do what we love on the weekend. So I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for being on the stream. It means a lot. We've never had any hiccups. You run a very clean operation. So
Dwayne is the OG, man. I love that dude. That's one of my bros, man. He's good people. He's real good people. And I'll tell you what, with all the other tournament platforms that have come and gone and everything else, he is the most responsive to user feedback. But also, if you call him and your tournament, something's happening wrong on tournament day, he'll stop what he's doing, take your call, and help you through it, or
Wow.
provide you an alternative in most instances. So, man, shout out to Dwayne Wall. He's real good people.
Yeah, he's
On
top,
and off the water.
top notch.
Jeremy Smith, I haven't met him yet. He's saying 101 today at Mattawoman.
From who? Oh,
This
actually, I
is
think I know. Never mind.
so. And then who's this here? So we're good with the single day per day because I got 91 inches per day. Hey, listen, I like the confidence. But yeah, Mickey, how are you feeling going into the tournament, being that you're our current champ? I think Josh will probably answer.
So yeah, unfortunately, I can't go down there and practice. So I'm just gonna do what I did for last week's tournament. I'm just gonna roll in there and hope for the best.
Okay.
That sounds like a dangerous man. He's
It really
under
does.
promising, and you know he's going to over deliver.
Mickey was so
I'm
nonchalant the
watching
day of
out
the
for.
tournament that morning.
I'm watching out for J.R. Rents this time. I think he's gonna win it.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
haven't met JR yet. I'm looking forward to it. Kyle, how are you feeling going into the Potomac? I know you're familiar with it.
Yeah, I'm a little more familiar with that than I am the Upper Bay, but I went out there yesterday. I think I got a spot going, so we'll see.
Okay.
We shall see if it produces the same way.
Are you saying
Yeah.
it's more of an area bite, not necessarily a pattern right now?
I mean, I got a pattern, but I think the area had a lot to do with it too. But I definitely have a pattern.
Love it.
I know for a fact that there are guys out there practicing right now. I got bass boat buddies that are telling me about kayakers out there on the Potomac with these slick boats. I said, yeah, they're probably practicing for the Potomac this weekend, but I love to see it.
Yeah. I mean, Josh, did you win on the Potomac one year, or was that
Yeah,
second place trophy?
so that second place trophy was the KBF trail last year, but I won in the KBF last year.
Hmm.
So yeah, and I was placed in that top 5 or so. At least one of the 2 days. The other day I usually fall apart or catch COVID like I did 2 years ago, or I don't know how you catch COVID on the river. Tell me that. I have no idea. But
Got to stop kissing those fish, man.
I heard that
Oh.
before too, but I ain't gonna listen to that. They need love.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Appreciate you guys coming on tonight. I know you guys are busy.
Yeah. Funky saying, that's my boy. That's the PA boy. Won't win, even though he did once. Sorry, JR. Listen, I am here for the rivalries.
I thought JR was from Jersey, man. What happened? I don't know. JR is good people, and he could catch fish out of a puddle, but he ain't beating me out there this week. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I promise you.
Shots fired.
That's on the record. That's
Yeah.
on the record.
Hey, write it down, take a picture, send it to your mama. I don't care. I'm coming.
I love it.
C5 fun, you feel me?
Fired.
Hey, cool. Well, I mean, I think that's it. We got a recap. We know what to look forward to.
Any last words?
Yeah. Anything else, fellas?
Good luck.
There it
Well
is.
said.
There it is.
See you
All right,
guys.
guys. Well, good luck this weekend on the Potomac, April 20th and 21st. It's going to be a huge event. Can't wait to get out there. I think I'm only going to do one day, and I'm going to shoot the other day. I don't know which day I'm going to fish, but I'm going to get out there and do at least one day. I can't leave Evan hanging on both days like that.
No. I mean, I do this for a living. I do this for a living.
Don't tell me that, man.
Hey, someone has to represent from leadership. That's all I'm saying. I'm still waiting on this NK 180 Pro. I don't feel like covering water with my paddle. Unless anybody's trying to loan me a motor. But anywho, we'll see y'all on the water.
Thailand's our mind. Let's go.
Love it. Congrats, fellas.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
See you.